Okay, there's my 3/4 ton axles, all cleaned up. This rear end had minimal surface rust. Not rust, no pitting whatsoever. Once I cleaned off all that surface rust, which is more like a dirt type rust where the paint that was still on it underneath all that came off relatively easy. It wasn't thick. It didn't have any pitting in the rear end at all, not even on the tubes, not on the front of it, or the drive shaft, anything like that. It didn't have any. Even the backing plates weren't pitted. So I don't know how well kept this truck was, but it was kept well enough. The rear end that this truck came off of, that must have been took care of pretty well. I don't know. Or it's just one of those few that get lucky and don't see a lot of rust ever. Probably never went through the mud or whatever. But anyway, it had lots of black paint left on it. There was on the axle shafts where some of it was faded really good and almost gone. But for the most part, I'd say about 75% of this rear end was covered in black. And once I cleaned that all up, wire wheeled it all, I recoated it with some good durable paint made for rear ends, and it should hold up nicely. Anyway, that's 3/4 ton rear end, and here's what it looks like from the backside. Full floating axle. This is going to go under my K10 that I'm converting to a K20, because I couldn't find very many K20s that people just didn't want a lot of money for, or they wanted a ton of money. So, knowing how to find this stuff, looking for it, and knowing how to wheel and deal, I took a K20 that I didn't, or K10 that I didn't give much for, and I'm building my K20. So, anyway, full floating axle, as I said. I just got to pull the wheels off and do the outside hubs. And there's where the axle goes in on the outside. That definitely tells you full floating axle. Anyway, you can see there I haven't painted the drums yet. But the whole axle is coated. Should hold up nicely. And that's going to be going underneath my truck, which is right here in front of me. Anyway, there you have it. That's the next step on my build I'm doing. Or second step. Because, like I said, I already have the lift kit on it. Springs and all. I just don't want 6 lugs, which is currently on it. And yes, my bed is in bad shape on this side only, in the rear, so it's getting replaced. But that will be a little further down the road. But anyway, these will get installed next. This one will get cleaned up. It's my 3/4 ton front axle, which is actually the same as the axle that is under my truck right now, because this is a 3/4 ton 10-bolt axle. It's the same axle that's underneath the front of the truck with 6 lug. But anyway, it's just the outer gear here, hubs and rotors, to make it a 3/4 ton. Swap out 6 lugs for 8 lugs. But I think I'm going to clean this one up here and just put the old rig underneath my truck and just pull the other one out. But anyway, that's the update on my build that I am doing.